Hello.
How are you today?
It's Thursday, which is a pre-Friday, so I'm not gonna be mad.
Yay! All right. Well, it's been a busy day here.
Hmm.
Anyone who's with us today from the South Florida area, I hope you're not involved in any of the stuff that's going on today. If you're not from South Florida, say yay. Okay, guys, welcome to the commentary zone. As you enter the room today, please don't forget to give us a little thumbs up. If you haven't already, please hit the subscribe button and the notification bell. And most importantly, tell a friend. All righty. On the docket today, The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, Season 11, Episode 6, The Liberation of Erika Jayne.
I mean, I'm sorry. I'm gonna say it like this. I did not know she was a prisoner. I'm
She
just saying.
wasn't. She wasn't.
I'm just saying, like, what is she being liberated from? Exactly. She's being liberated from a $13 million house, the Lamborghinis, the glam squad, being Erika Jayne, all the trips,
Mm-hmm.
the Lambo, the couture. Like, I just want to know what she's being liberated from, because if she needs liberation from that, you could just sign me up. I don't need that much liberation.
I know, and even production was getting into the swing of her little story. You saw all those little flashbacks. Erika, I'm speaking.
But did you see? Okay, okay. Did anyone else feel like the victim narrative? Was it just
Uh-huh.
me?
Mm-hmm.
So it wasn't just me. I'm like, okay. I mean, I understand. I get it, but I felt like they were overpainting her as a victim.
They trying to help out her little future defense lawyer case. That's what they're trying to do. But I'm sure the feds have already seized all of the footage so that they can document
Oh
all the
yeah.
clothes, all the shoes, all the purses, all the jewelry, and they gonna want all of that to pay back all of these people their money. I don't
I was
know.
just like, you guys aren't doing this right now, are you, Bravo? You're really gonna paint her like she's the poor, helpless Erika Jayne, like she's a complete victim. Like, no, that's not the way you do this. I'm sorry, you just don't do this. You can't. This is not the way to go. This does not help her. What all this is going to do is add more backlash. So people are going to be mad. You're trying to like make it seem like, oh my gosh, like poor little Erica, like
Mhm.
we felt so bad for her.
I didn't. And then did you notice a couple times in the episode? I think it started first at Sutton's luncheon where she was like, as soon as I get my head wrapped around what's in store for me, and it's coming. And then I think when she was at her new place and she was talking to the people who was helping her decorate, she's like, you know, what's coming down the pipe for him and for me. Like, wait, what?
Mm-hmm.
Don't do that. Don't do that. I I should have known that she wasn't going to say anything. She's
Right.
talking in riddles. I'm too old for riddles. Bitch, you guilty if you going through this. Um, Cough up that ring and start making the down payment on what you need to pay back to these people. I couldn't find it in myself to feel sorry for her. If that makes me a bad person, I'm okay with that. I'm okay.
Right. I get that. Where my problem with this is that they're trying to paint her as a victim along with what we know about the show, what we know of what's going on outside of the show. I mean, I definitely understood where she was coming from in the power dynamic. He was definitely in control. Um, I don't think she was afraid of him per se. I think she was more afraid of losing the lifestyle.
Mm-hmm.
So I definitely understand her feeling of like, okay, I need to just get through this because like he's giving me this lifestyle. He's taking
Mm-hmm.
care of me and my child. You know, what do I do if he leaves me? So I understood the first part of her marriage, like pre-Housewives. I completely understand her, and I feel for her on that point.
Mm-hmm.
Because she really didn't have much going on outside of being a housewife, you know. So
Mm-hmm.
I'm not going to sit here and blame her for feeling what she feels. Now,
Mm-hmm.
bringing on Housewives, you know, she could step on her own. She could have something, you know. She actually has her own income coming in, which is great for her. But on the flip side, I'm not going to be like, oh my God, Erica's a victim, because someone who is smart enough, and she said this on camera, who is smart enough to plan the filing day of her divorce on election day, because she said she knew this was going to be the biggest election in a long, long time, and this will be a blip on the radar. So
Mm-hmm.
someone who's smart enough to plan out a divorce on a particular day, knowing the circumstances, I, leads me to believe you knew more about Tom's situation than you're letting on.
Not only that, but she was taking inventory and taking her stuff like how she was going to move it out. She got a moving truck to come and pull up. She dropped him off at work, went back home, met the moving truck, moved out, didn't leave him a note, waited overnight at her new place, which she also got during that
Right.
month that she was planning. And
Mm-hmm.
then the next day dropped the divorce. Really? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like she had this
Sounds
all
good to
planned.
me.
She, and that's the other thing. As I was watching, I'm like, okay, you planned this for a month.
Mm-hmm.
So now keep that in mind. She plans for a month, right? Go
Mm-hmm.
back to the conversation they had at whose house was it? They were at with the party when they had the comment.
Dorit?
Was it Sutton's house? The Paris party, right?
Yeah, the Paris party. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Okay, so remember the conversation they had before Erica got there. Like Garcelle was like, well,
Mm-hmm.
why couldn't she just like basically hold on for a little bit? You know, wait it on out. Wait it
Yep.
on out. Why divorce now?
Mm-hmm.
And going back to that, like the fact Dorit, I know exactly what you're saying. I'm like, damn,
Mm-hmm.
Dorit was the first one that got it. Okay, go. You put those two together.
Mm-hmm.
That leads me to believe that you got a heads up about the situation. I'm sorry, you did, because with his failing, with his age, and all of a sudden with this dementia coming on,
Mm-hmm.
why wouldn't you stay? My opinion is this: she left because she realized, like, I'm not gonna get no money. I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
she was
I,
doing what is it, a snatch and grab?
yes,
That,
yes,
that's what she was
yes.
doing.
I mean, am I wrong in my thinking on this one? Because the way it's laying itself out, I was like, oh, you're leaving because you got a heads up. He ain't gonna have no more money. Everything's getting sold off, and you got to get up out because there's no point in staying.
Here's how far I'm taking this. I think he gave her the heads up. He's like, I
Oh,
think this house of cards is about to fall, bitch. And I'm taking you
okay,
with. And she was like, I'm gonna drive you to work every day, boo. Make
got
sure your
you.
ass is at work. You don't know how to work the Uber app and you don't got no Uber car like Heavenly. So I'm gonna make sure your ass is at work and that you eating from what was it, Morton's every day for lunch so that I can get my shit together.
Oh, Yanni has a good point. Honestly, I believe they both had an existing plan for a long time, including investing
Mm-hmm.
the money in clothing, jewelry, and paintings.
Mm-hmm.
It just
Mm-hmm.
they got caught before they able to execute. So Yanni, answer me
And
this.
I agree
So
with that. But here's
th-
why. Because hasn't she gone to court and said that everything she got is a gift?
yes. So
Mm-hmm.
Yanni, do you think they started this years ago?
Mm-hmm.
Because years ago they were saying like, oh, this is a gift from Tom. This is a gift from Tom. This is a gift. Remember, everything she got was a
Mm-hmm.
gift from Tom. So
Yep.
I'm inclined to agree with both of you on this, because they probably had an exit plan, but like you said, it wasn't fully executed. They got caught too soon.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Okay,
Mm-hmm.
I can go with
So
that.
wait, what do you think about Ablavi's comment that our cheesy
What's this?
little background is more wealthier than anything that's happened this season?
Bobby. Oh my goodness. Oh, Bobby. Oh my goodness.
Oh my God. Okay, so at Tahoe, she said that she and Tom were great. I wonder if her attorneys know Tom is her real attorney. Exactly. Tom,
Mm-hmm.
look, Tom has prepped it, and if even if he hasn't outright said it, you had to have picked up something over 20 years.
Mm-hmm.
You ain't stupid, girl, and neither is he.
No, and that was my whole thing as I was watching it. And don't get me wrong, I thought this episode was fairly insightful. But I didn't go with the Erica is the victim rule. I went more as, okay, what was it? I'm trying to figure out the timeline and the plan, because there was a plan here. I think we all acknowledge there was a plan. I'm just trying to figure out, okay, you did this. I mean, because let's call a thing. She had been planning this for, like you said, at least a month, because how do you move all that stuff in one day?
Mm-hmm.
One
Well,
day.
she says she didn't take any furniture other than a couch and a
Hmm.
chair, but it was her 3 closets.
Right.
And she even leased a car in those 30 days because she
Yes.
left the Lambos and all of that, and she got a Range Rover. So she was doing a lot of planning. And you know what? It just occurred to me. Remember her entry to this show was that she spends 40 G's a month on glam.
Hmm.
I agree with you. That was the beginning of moving the money. The
Okay.
final part was her moving the clothes, the jewelry, and the couch and the chair, which probably was stuffed with something else, like artwork or something. But let me tell you, her and Tom, mm, I find it hard to believe that she didn't know what was going on. I really find it so hard to believe.
And I haven't heard anyone bring up the fact that, when did you apply for this house? How did you apply for this house? How
Mm.
how quickly how quickly did you close on this house?
But
Because
she's renting. So all they would have had to
she
do is run her credit score.
that's right, she did say it's a rental,
Yeah, it's a rental.
but we don't know if it's a rental or a rent to buy though.
It ain't no rent to buy.
No,
It's a rental. It's a rental.
I mean, renting is smart because you don't know if you're coming back from this season, so that does
Oh,
make sense. I'm just saying, it does make sense that you would rent and not buy at this point, because your cash flow is kind of iffy. So I understand. And where that's another thing. If you're renting and you're
Mhm.
renting in that area, is not cheap.
9,000 a month.
So at this time, maybe the accounts aren't frozen during this time. Yeah, we have to do some research, but their accounts got frozen.
Mhm.
So how are they paying? Where's the money coming from?
Mm, maybe she hooked it up with Bravo so that a portion of her pay. Actually, if I was her, right, I would pay a full year's lease on this apartment,
Oh, that makes sense.
and I would have it deducted from my Bravo salary and have it directly paid to the owner.
Okay, so I just looked it up.
Mm.
So the assets weren't frozen until December. So
Okay. Mm.
she was able to get into the rental before the assets were frozen, because she filed on November 3rd. So if we're around November 3rd, November 10th in filming, she still has access to the money.
And if you think about this, right? If she's been spending 40 grand on glam every month for the past 5 years, right? Because she's been on the show for
Mhm.
5 years. You know that's over $2 million, right?
Right, but do we really believe she spent
No,
40
that
G's?
but that's the excuse. But that
Right.
money was being rerouted elsewhere to an unknown bank
Okay.
account. Yeah,
Right.
that's a parachute fund.
Right. That's what I was thinking. Like, no, I don't think you did that. I think you were. I think she was telling us, like, well, I'm spending this much. Yeah, you're giving us the opulence and stuff, which is cool. But I'm
Mhm.
like, you ain't spending no 40 G's. I'm gonna
Mm-mm.
give you 15 at most, and you putting that 25 in Caymans. That's just my opinion.
Mhm. And if I was her, I would spread it out too.
Yes,
Caymans, Bermuda,
Susan,
Panama.
Susan,
Oh my
Susan
god.
asked a great question. Do you think she had her mother holding a cushion for? Yes, Yes.
Mm-mm-mm.
Yes. I wouldn't be surprised if there's property out there in her mother's name.
Which
'Cause,
property?
no, properties we don't know about.
Mm.
I would not be. So Erica is a smart woman. Like, you don't come up from working at like what Mel's Diner, or she's a waitress somewhere, to
Mm-hmm.
bagging Tom, and she didn't grow up with a silver spoon, so she knows how to save money and hide money. In my opinion,
Mm-hmm.
I just
Mm-hmm.
don't think she's. I don't think she's dumb enough not to have money stats. I just don't, and I'm not
Yeah.
mad at her for it. I'm not mad at her for it. Because her, like she said, she's a prenup, but it wouldn't matter because Tom's such a great lawyer, and I agree with that.
Yep.
But
Mm-hmm.
so she knew that Tom liked him younger. So I'm assuming that she thinks like he's gonna try to replace me at some point. Let me get my nest egg working.
Mm-hmm. The one thing she said during the episode that I did agree with was that she said she never thought it would end like this. And I'm sure she thought he would have,
Mm-hmm.
killed
Right.
over
Yes.
before her. Like exactly
Yeah.
what Garcelle said. She was
But,
waiting it out.
Erica even said she's like, I was gonna hold that man's hand until the
Mm-hmm.
day he died. There it is.
Mm-hmm.
There it is. I'm not mad.
But ever practical Erika, who was it who asked her about the house if she didn't want the house? And she goes, that was Tom's way before I got there, and I'm the third wife that was in residence. So
Okay. Let's talk about that.
I had no claim on that. Ever
Let's talk.
practical.
Let's
She
talk
ain't
about that.
stupid.
Can we applaud her for that though? Can
Yes.
we, and understanding that this was never mine?
But that proves to you she's not stupid.
Yes.
She sinks her own case.
She does, but I have to applaud her for that, and I'm going to also give her props for not going into a shell, being a hermit. She's coming out and like she's looking good. She's keeping herself up, but then again, she's advertising as well.
Oh, that micro mini, the red and black one.
Yeah.
Oh,
Let's
all the
let's
goodies was out on display.
Yeah, she's advertising. She's
Mm-hmm.
got to find a new man. I
Mm-hmm.
mean, because she can no longer be Erika Jayne. I don't think. Can she go on tour without Tom's money? No.
Probably not. What you think about what Ebony says? What's missing from the book?
Right. Oh. Okay. Well.
Well,
Well.
oh my
Well. Yeah.
God.
Yanni says. But she said she wanted to stay. I, you know what? I think she really wanted to stay because she had such a nice, secure life, and
Mm-hmm.
who would really want to leave that? So I get it. I really feel his business started crumbling down, and it just drove a wedge.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Yeah. Maybe he was just getting angrier and angrier and probably either ignoring her or when he did speak to her, he was taking it out on her.
right? The office frustration he was bringing home onto her, which is not
Mm-hmm.
fair. Because
No, it isn't.
honestly, she doesn't give us much. But I
Mm-hmm.
never disliked Erica. I do appreciate her boldness and her straightforward honesty. I really do. But again, I'm not going to sit here and play pretend like she hasn't given us breadcrumbs, especially in this episode, about how she really feels. Because you could like when she said like some dude said something, and he's like, "Well, if you think you can afford her, you can have her." I'm like, "Oof, that would have hurt me." I'm sorry.
But what do you expect from a crotchety old man who just sees her as nothing but like another acquisition,
Hmm.
you know? And again, I would not be surprised if that wasn't at a time where the walls were closing in. So you
Yeah.
lashing out,
Hmm.
but
Definitely.
what are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? Um, what else happened? Okay, wait, let's just do a little segue to the food at Sutton's party. It was looking good.
They eat, and they eat in the season too.
Yeah. Well, Erika needs to take a meal wherever she could get one. But oh my God, the caviar, The what was that? Coco Van? No, that wasn't Coco Van. What was it?
It was something
It
that
looked
was
like beef
good.
bourguignon, which I
Mm.
find is a little heavy for lunch, but okay, if you want to eat peasant food, go ahead.
Go ahead, yeah. Peasant food is
Yep.
hot. What you talking
Some
about?
of the best food that comes out of France is peasant food. So yeah, and I'm not meaning that in a derogatory way. It just is what it is. But yeah, like, oh, I loved it. And she
Hmm.
even had like the pearly oyster shell, whatever, forks for everybody to eat the
Right.
caviar with.
Hmm.
Mm, and they
Say
wasn't
what
being
say
stingy with it neither.
no. Say what you want about Sutton. She knows how to throw a party. I would have loved to be there. Would
Listen,
love to have been there.
you see all of those antique crystal glasses that she had?
Hmm.
I was dying. I loved it. I loved it. I loved it. She had an indoor outdoor setup. It was
Yep.
beautiful. The only thing that ruined it was
It was cold, right, or something like that.
I didn't even care about the weather. It was Kyle's hat. Do you know it took me almost an hour to get that shot without the stupid brim of her hat going into
Hmm.
the footage?
Hmm.
I was so frustrated with her. Why didn't they tell her to take off that stupid hat?
Right. And talking about Kyle, I do want to touch on that conversation with Dorit.
Mm-hmm.
So Kyle's apology wasn't an apology to me.
It wasn't. It never is.
I'm like, no, you want Dorit to back down.
Mm-hmm.
And Dorit just burst her off like, okay, fine, whatever. Like
Mm-hmm.
she understands where she stands with Kyle and what Kyle's all about. Kyle's
Mm-hmm.
never gonna apologize. So I think Dorit at this point is like, we're good. Our
Yeah.
husbands are friends. We'll keep it civil and keep it moving.
Yep. Until next
Now,
time.
hmm and I do want to touch on
Mm-hmm.
Crystal. Now, I won't say I've been Team Crystal, but I was liking Crystal.
Mm-hmm.
This episode really put a bad taste in my mouth about her. I do not like the word she used.
What?
I did not like the fact that she was saying she felt violated
Yeah,
because
that came out of nowhere for
it
me.
came out of nowhere and it painted it just didn't
Mm-hmm.
it just over dramatized the situation, you know. And my thing is this: if you and Sutton has talked about and put this to bed, when the other ladies ask you about it, all you had to say was like, you know what? It was an awkward moment. Sutton and I talked about it. We're good.
Mm-hmm.
You don't have to, but she couldn't wait to tell that story, and you could tell there was no hesitation when they asked her,
Mm-hmm.
and that frustrated me. That frustrated me because that's not fair. Yes, Sutton came in. Y'all, you said how you felt. Y'all hash it out, but you to keep it going because you are. Because
Mm-hmm.
once they come to shut it down, keep it moving. But you just don't like Sutton. You can tell Crystal holds grudges.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Crystal holds grudges. She holds on to things.
But
And
to me, okay. I was trying to make this make sense. Okay. She felt violated. I said, did this go back to the body dysmorphia? Like, is this all going back to that? And it's like she's seeing something that isn't there. I was trying to make excuses for it. But after that conversation, I was just like, but wait, when y'all was in Tahoe, it was cool. But now,
mm-hmm,
and you said you wasn't going to talk about this to anybody, but yet
right,
you talking about it to everybody, and you're using the excuse that everybody's asking me about it. But why you just don't say, we're good. We discussed it. Let's move past it. You don't have to go into a conversation. This
exactly.
is what I can't get with her. Mm.
No. And then what killed me is with that is then I want to go to speaking of Crystal, I want to go to her dumpling party.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, those dumplings look so good. I wanted them.
Yes, they
Uh,
did. And the
and
women
then
were eating.
right, and can we give a shout out to Rob? I like
Mm-hmm.
Rob.
Saving the
I
day.
like Rob. Saying
Mm-hmm.
he was like greeting everyone, walking up to her home. Like
Mm-hmm.
he was just I like him.
Mm-hmm.
And want to see a little bit more of him because I want to see him working. But it was nice seeing Crystal with her family. It's just with her, I'm kind of in the. I was very kind of team Crystal because she feel like she would be fun, the breath of fresh air. But she's coming across as a sour ball and a grudge holder, and I don't like that. I need her to give the one-liners and not be so. I don't want to say aggressive. It's where you take every point and you up the ante. He seems to double down on every spat when it's not necessary.
Okay. What do you think about Larger Curve's comment here?
Oh no, I think it's that combined with her ED. I really do. But where I have a problem is that you guys talked about it, squashed it, and you keep talking about it, and then you're adding layers to it. To say violated was not is not fair to Sutton because she did not say she felt violated to Sutton. I didn't hear her use that word. Now, if she had used that word with Sutton, I can kind of let this go a little bit. You know what I mean?
But if you're so, like, I keep going back to this. Why didn't she lock the door?
I mean,
but wait a minute. Did she actually say violated to Dorit, or did Dorit interpret their conversation as violation?
That's a fair point too, because we never saw the conversation between Dorit and Crystal. So I'm going to give her grace. I'm going to take your point. I'm on your side on the. I take your opinion on this one.
No, I'm just throwing it out there.
No, it's a fair point. It's a very fair point because we never saw the footage of the conversation.
Okay.
So I'm going to give Crystal grace on this one.
Okay. Until
Vale,
Bravo's production company comes up and shows us evidence.
Vale said she said it.
She said it.
Vale, so okay, I have to go back. I'm going to go back and rewatch this because I don't recall seeing that scene. I don't recall seeing the conversation between Dorit. Did they show the flashback, Vale? And I missed it?
Let's wait. She said it. Dang. Well, she talked like Sutton was insane. Come on. The one thing I don't like about Crystal is that she throws around the crazy and the manic things a little too freely. Sutton is quirky, but I do not in any way think that she's manic or crazy. And she's going through a divorce. It's been like a year. And then when you heard the backstory of her divorce, at her birthday party, her husband showed up, brought the cake, and then went to Florida, and the next day dropped the divorce papers on her. What? Cold-blooded. Whoa.
That's some savage stuff right there.
I would feel a way about that too. And it's not like they was married for 5 minutes.
No, what, 17, 18 years, I think?
Something like that with kids. Big ass kids.
Like 3 kids, right?
I think so. I think it's 3. You know, I'm gonna allow her to have a little cry, breakdown. I ain't all the way there because her husband was a dog.
I think what Sutton is, and I've learned to do this with reality TV, is that we can comment on these situations, give our commentary, cool, but then sometimes you have to like think about the outside factors and then show them some grace because now that you mentioned it, I forgot. You know what? I keep thinking Sutton's divorce is like a while ago. I keep forgetting it's not too far, like not even a year or so, maybe 2, right?
Right.
It's super fresh. We gotta give take in all those factors. But I think Sutton plays everything so close to the vest that she doesn't say too much about it.
Yeah. Well, so maybe she couldn't last year. What do you think about Yanni's comment? Here we go. Do you think they're the same?
I think they're very similar.
They're similar.
They're very similar,
but not completely the same.
Right. But the interesting with these two, I can see both sides, and it's very easy to see. But it's like, well, you guys are kind of saying similar things, but you're not hearing each other, and you both want to be right. I think, yeah,
Mm-hmm.
like Yanni said, they really both want to be right, and they
Mm-hmm.
need you. They need you to say that they're right.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. What do you think about Ebony's
I
comment?
firmly believe with Ebony, it's not fair to cut a housewife after one season.
Mm-hmm.
It's not fair. Like, I'm going to go to OC. I think Elizabeth Vargas should have got another season,
Ugh.
if not two. They Bravo brought her on a season too soon. They should not have brought Elizabeth on until her divorce was final.
Yanni, you a mess.
Yanni, now I'm hating both. Oh my goodness.
Oh,
Oh,
Lord have mercy. Well, I there was just something about Elizabeth Vargas that I don't think I ever could have warmed up for her. So I just cut her from the jump.
I didn't, and here's why. Like I always tell you, I'm a sucker for a tagline. Don't get me wrong. Her tagline, I'm like, okay, you got some wit, you got some spunk to you. I
Mhm.
like that. When she said, "I made my money the old-fashioned way. I married rich and then made more," like, okay, I can go with you on that. But what happened with Elizabeth? She got drowned out by the whole Bronwyn situation. Let's be honest, the whole season was Bronwyn focused. So there
Mhm.
wasn't much room for anybody else, let alone Erika. Even they gave boring Gina and boring Emily more screen time than gave Elizabeth, and the fans were mad about that. So we don't care about them. Let's call it thing a thing. No one cares about Emily and Gina, but Emily and Gina's family. I'm sorry, it is what it is. I'm just saying what the fans are saying.
Listen, I'm holding out with Emily because I'm waiting for her to smack the piss out of Shane. That's it. That's it.
Mm.
Oh my God. Okay, so what else happened? Did anything happen at the dumpling party? I'm feeling like something oh, wasn't there there was the interaction between just Sutton and Crystal. Did anything
Right.
else happen? Flashback did not.
Okay.
Okay.
That's why I was wondering. I'm like, I don't recall that.
Okay. Dorit is at it again. Okay. I have no option. I didn't watch OC. Okay. No opinion. Sorry. Okay, Yanni. Um, e. Hold on. Okay, so Sutton goes for a mammogram, and I'm bringing this up because, guys, I know this is like a kind of wonky year and a half, but please don't try to miss your mammogram appointments. Go and get them. Don't be nervous. This is one time I agree with Kyle. Go and get it done. I was wondering though, Sutton is part of the itty bitty titty committee, and how they was gonna find that to mush it in there. That's a good technician. She found it. That was a really clean image of her boobsicles. So yeah, I'm glad that they included it. Yes, it was a nothing scene, but it is
It's important.
important for us to go and
No,
get checked.
it's an important reminder, even
Mm-hmm.
during the panoramas, get it done.
Mm-hmm. Um, what else? Oh, what did you think about the little I don't know if it was dinner or drinks or whatever with Rena and
Who's
what's your name?
who's mom?
Erica.
Who's mom, Yanni?
Her mom died of breast
Sutton's
cancer, right?
Sutton's or
No,
Kyle's?
Kyle's mom. I think it was
Kyle's mom,
Kyle's
right?
mom. Yeah.
Okay, that's what I was remembering. I was want to make sure it
Mm-hmm.
wasn't both. The drinks with Erica and Rena was interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Rena's having a beauty line. I mean, you could say one thing about Rena. She's a hustler. I appreciate that about her. I really, really, really do. Then I kind of like Erica in these one-on-one settings because she's more open. She
Mm-hmm.
seems more comfortable, and I can see her perspective where she's coming from. So I think what we as an audience might have to do, the way Bravo is doing this, we may have to separate Erica um and her perspective on her divorce and her life moving forward versus Erica in the lawsuits. You know what I mean? Because what's going to happen is you're going to put the two together, and we're not really going to give Erika the grace I think she may deserve. Does she deserve grace for going through a divorce and having a hard time? Yes, we've seen it on the show, and we've always given grace to those people. So I think we need to do that here. But we can also say, no, you're not a victim when it comes to the lifestyle that you had. You had some knowledge. I think we have to separate those two. And it's going to be difficult, but I'll say for myself, I'm going to do my best because no one wants to see the death of a marriage. It's always sad. It's always hard to watch someone go through. But we do have to hold her accountable for when it comes to her speaking of her lifestyle.
Mm-hmm.
And I agree. BS, BS, BS. Why is Rinna defending and protecting Erika? I'm not sure if Rinna did know any now. And then Yanni says Rinna threw Denise under the bus for way less. Absolutely.
And she was a longer friend, a longer term friend than Erika.
Okay, here's the thing. I have a question. I'm going to just throw this out there. Since you, and because Yanni brings up a good point, do we think Rinna has some of Erika's assets? Which is why she's being so understanding and so thoughtful.
Ooh, I would hate to think that.
I'm just saying because
I don't think Harry Hamlin would want to get confused in all that mess.
Because the lawsuits and stuff broke before the season started, if I recall correctly. So you guys had to have read those. You had to have read those. So when Erika said the ladies don't know what's going on, I'm like, in my mind, I'm like, I doubt that because I think the lawsuits start coming down before the season started, if I'm correct.
Mm-hmm. Or maybe she's just assuming that they don't keep up. But these are some of the nosiest women ever.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think about that statement at the very end of that scene where Erika says that he has some things coming at him? Again, she's just doing this riddle nonsense throughout this whole. I think it's just going to play out throughout the whole episode, and it's going to drive me insane.
Mm-hmm. We're gonna have to compare. We're gonna have to compare what we see on TV to the internet now. Because she's not gonna say anything straightforward.
What do you think about this comment?
Oh, not the credit card scam. Not the Chime scam.
Yeah, Teresa did come out and say she ain't known
right
nothing,
away.
But what good did it do her? She still wound up in the pen.
Right.
Oh, Large agrees with you. That Rinna must have got a check from Erika. Oh. No compassion, no remorse. It's weird, Jamal. Something doesn't match. This is a valid point here from Trey. I wouldn't trust Rinna to hold anything for me, not even her breath.
I agree.
Mm-hmm. What? Harry doesn't know shit from Sikkim? Oh my God. Oh Lord. Why y'all doing Harry Hamlin like that?
Call Harry.
Wait, who funded the lip line though?
What'd you say? I'm sorry.
Wait, no, I was just wondering who funded the lip line. I want to know what company's behind that. Now, wait, let's go back to the dumpling party. Mm-hmm. What was it that Erika was saying about the oil that Kyle gave to her that she put on her naughty bits and it had a lit? And she had that puss on display?
Right. Advertising. I'm just saying.
Gross.
Oh, Elf has issues. Evan, yeah, you talking about Elf Cosmetics?
Oh.
They're problematic from what I understand.
Well, Cody can't afford to back nothing after wasting all their money on the Kardashians.
Elf is very problematic from what I understand. They're from what I understand, but based on what I've seen on YouTube, they're not the most inclusive. I'll
Look,
leave that there.
last year was not the best year to start any sort of cosmetics, nothing, because one,
Mm-mm.
nobody was going to work or any place else. Two, we were all wearing masks. So why are you putting on any sort of
Right.
lipstick? Really? And HCD oil. Okay, so that's what it was. That's part of like what is this? The weed thing? The weed extract? I
Hey
don't
Deb.
know.
Hey Debbie, since we got about 40,
Hmm.
we're at the 40-minute mark, so we got about 10 to 15 minutes for calls.
Hmm.
You want to drop the link
Sure.
so we're not late for Family Karma at the top of the hour?
Y'all, if anyone wants to call in, here you go. Mabel is THC for sex, yet she says that she don't want relationship. Yeah, like what was that? I was so confused in that conversation, and I didn't even want to play it back this morning. But if I thought she wasn't looking. Wait a minute. She says she wasn't looking for a relationship. She's looking for casual sex, and then she's using the oil on her naughty bits. I don't know what she's trying to say. I think at this point, even Erika's confused. Before the pen was semi-opened. Okay. I don't know. I don't know. She's gonna need more than people from California to buy her lip smackers. Um, but good on her. I think it's like 20 years too late for her to be getting into a lip line. She should have done that decades ago. Hello, Miss Ablavi.
Hello. Oh,
How are you today?
good. I watched it much. You know what? Let's positives.
Mm-hmm.
Clearly, they do know how to do people's hair because one thing about Erica, I'll give her, she is blonde from the roots to the tip. She ain't half blonde. She ain't blonde a little bit. She is blonde. And
Mm-mm.
now let's go on to the lying and the foolishness. Okay, so we saw, they were trying to present her all, because 1.5 million, in all honesty, that's not a luxurious house.
Not in California, no.
No,
Not at
Mm-hmm.
all, no. Mm-mm.
that's like 300,000 someplace else, and it was
Mm-hmm.
looking real regular. Even the pool and the little outhouse, I saw neighbors and yard.
An
She's in, but
outhouse.
I think she's in like what West Hollywood. So yeah, you gonna have neighbors there, cause and she got a good deal for 1.5 where she is, because those houses start around the 1.82 million range if she's where I think she is. So she got a deal for where she's at.
Exactly. And it's not like she bought the house, she's renting it.
Mm-hmm.
Renting.
Now, here's where she went wrong. I wouldn't have had all my closets and stuff. I would have had in the middle of the night
Yes.
a company come, take
Yes.
everything I have, put it
Yep.
in my house in whatever non-extradited country I was gonna go to, and say, "Oh, I just gave it to my friends for free because I wanted to live humbly." There would be
Hmm.
no way I would be on, and you would see all the jewelry, and you would see just shopping carts, and I would have done everything. I would
Yeah.
have put it in a house in the middle of nowhere. That way, after I go to prison, I got something left.
Mm-mm. What do you think, Larger Curves?
I think that the look on her assistant dude's face said it all. Did you see when he saw that house? He
Mm-hmm.
didn't even, he looked like he wanted to like put gloves on before he touched
Mm-hmm. He
anything.
was like, mm.
Yeah, he was like,
Yeah.
"Oh, this is all we have to work." I think
Yeah.
that was really sad. But
Mm-hmm.
then the girl assistant was trying to make it like, "Oh, it's okay. We're going to make it work." But that guy, he was off of them.
Yeah, he's like, how long I gotta stay here?
Right.
Can we
Uh-huh.
can we can we talk about him for a minute? Can we be messy?
Yeah,
Uh-huh.
please.
You know what? He's full of S. I remember him from the Pussycat Dolls, and he was Robin Adams' choreographer. Listen, you done live real broke in LA. You done live with cockroaches and rats. Before you had Erika Jayne, you was not living the lifestyle. You was out here struggling with everybody else and putting your two coins together to afford a $1,500 studio in West Hollywood. I'm gonna need you to act like you got some sense.
Right?
Uh oh.
Oh,
He's
wait,
like
what is he, the makeup artist? What is he?
No, he's a choreographer.
choreographer.
Choreographer. Okay.
Well, he's the
You know,
makeup artist, the choreographer, the dresser, the stylist, the
This
So
shopper.
he's everything now.
Yeah,
now he's everything.
he's been her everything, I thought. Like for a number of seasons, he's been by her side, right?
Right, because I know I've seen him before, but I just couldn't pin down what it is that he does for her.
he's from
Yeah,
the
I think
Crazy. DRS 299 has it. He's basically the creative director,
yeah.
where you're in charge of anything creative,
listen.
hair, makeup, style, all the good stuff.
How creative did he get with her at the gas station, though?
He needs to worry about again being relevant, having artists that he manages. He's not on Ariana Grande's tour. No.
Well,
Beyonce's tour. No. He's not
oops.
Justin Bieber. No. He's not doing Taylor Swift. No. He's not even doing the
Oof.
no. Or Britney, and she's in Las Vegas. So what he can do is pipe down because all he really is the gay best friend for rich woman.
Yeah. I think I
Oof.
agree with you on that gay best friend part. Like that it probably made Tom comfortable and acceptable that, oh, I'm just going out with him. Oh, he's just seeing my boobs. Oh, he's just dressing me and oiling me for this latex, Tom. There's nothing to see here.
Oh my
Now,
God.
now here's the thing, Blob. You made a good point. If he's the gay's best friend, do you think he has some of the assets stashed too?
Of course, he has some. First of all, let me be no. Let's tell him off a little one more time. The Pussycat Dolls started as a strip tease. They were like Chippendales in Las Vegas. So you really believe that you all high and mighty when you was doing something strange for a pot of change? Because last time I checked, I haven't seen your IDM and having anything credited to your name.
Yeah.
Oops.
That's true.
Yeah. And he knew the cameras were rolling. He knew we were going to see that look on his face.
Right. That's true. Like we saw you, sir.
Mhm.
We saw you because he looked like he didn't want to touch a thing. Like you could tell he really wanted to ask somebody, like, is this sanitized? Is this safe?
He literally did.
Because you know what? If we're being really honest, let me go to his IDM. His last credited role was Bold and the Beautiful, 2 episodes choreography. That's 10 years ago.
OMG.
What
Oh,
choreography are they doing on Bold and Beautiful?
You know, they do sometimes those singing and dancings, like the.
My God.
like a little two step.
Yeah.
Okay. I haven't watched Bold and the Beautiful in decades, but yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Started making money was in 2006. He did buttons for the Pussycat Dolls, and he wasn't even their main choreographer. You know, if he wants to be, high and mighty, at least he could have been a Columbus Short. Although Columbus Short isn't making money anymore, he was at least on Scandal.
Mhm.
Well, didn't Columbus open his mouth and get blackballed?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. See, he needs. That's what he needs to learn from. Learn from Columbus Short. Keep your mouth shut about things you don't know about. Be
Mhm.
humble. Be easy.
I I heard Mike is now working with Nikita Dragon.
I heard that too. I think I saw him on her little Snapchat show. Yes, Snapchat has shows.
But you know what, Erica? Whoever she's been sleeping with, when she's not sleeping with Tom, is really putting that work in.
How so?
Because I mean that's who she was looking good for. God.
I mean, like I said earlier, kudos to Erica for like advertising right away. She's not sitting on her laurels. She understands that she may not be coming back next season, so she's got to find a new source of income. So I'm not mad at her.
Well, she has limited shelf time, and
Mhm.
everybody's advertising. Erica Girardi, age 49, divorcing Tom Girardi, next to dead. Like,
No,
seriously, nobody is looking for a 49-year-old piece of puss right now in her location.
you never know. There are some men that listen. Some of these wild women out here that these men like Erica's kept herself together. We gotta stand
Yes,
like
yes.
like like when you look at Love After Lockup and Courtney at 30, we
Mhm.
gotta give her props.
I agree. She has kept herself in prime physical shape. However, when your competition is the 21-year-old thoughtbot, I mean, look at her co-star, Crystal. Like he grabbed her right after she turned legal.
You're
But Debbie, we have to realize Erica is close to Palm Springs.
mm-hmm.
So she's got she needs to get into her market. She needs to spend more time out in those type places. That's all.
But
And
will anybody want to touch somebody who's that close to like scandal?
Teresa found a new man.
Yeah.
Who?
Teresa.
Isn't he
And Teresa,
questionable?
but Teresa went to jail. Teresa went to jail. If Teresa can go to jail, come out and get an entrepreneur, then there's hope for Erica.
I don't know. I
Well,
think Jersey and Beverly Hills two different animals.
But who's not in scandal in LA? Can we be honest? Like,
Oh, her
I
neighbor,
mean,
Garcelle.
Army Hammer.
thank you.
yeah, they
Won't
would be.
Erica have to actually like do her time first? She'll have to get out of these woods before somebody will date her, I think, because I think that you're right, Jamal. Like she's a little too toxic right now for somebody to like even attach themselves to. Or did you
Yeah.
say that, Debbie? I'm sorry.
No,
No,
well, and then the frozen assets. Like nobody is gonna want to completely fund that.
Yeah, exactly.
because the one with Epstein, she done married a man, and he knew all the while she was sitting here being a trafficker. She married a whole man who's a millionaire, so we never know. And then we got the other
Hmm.
in San Francisco. Jamal, remember that woman who did that blood test thing, and she was sitting there lying about it?
Oh yeah, that was not good for her.
Yeah,
Mm-mm.
she's with a billionaire too, so you never know.
Oh,
Oof.
Yeah,
okay.
but we have to also remember Erica is smart. She let's think about it. Let's call things thing. She's kept her mouth shut for 20 plus years.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
She 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 has some smarts to her, and not just she's not like quote unquote book smart. She's got that street hustle smart, so she can get a job done when she needs to. There are men out there who want women like her, and she's not one of these little young, as somebody said, thought box Instagram models. She's a seasoned woman. Like if she can come through this with fairly no scratches, what man in business would not want a woman like that?
You
Because she's on.
said the correct thing. If she can come through this, then she's highly marketable. But
Yes,
right now,
Right.
there's gonna be some
Mhm.
hesitancy there.
yeah.
Listen,
Yes, the men are gonna wait to see how she comes out, and because let's be honest, she's a beautiful woman.
mhm.
She's she's older. You have to worry about having kids. Men are keeping their eye on Erica Girardi right now just to see what happens with her
Mhm.
and what comes out. Did she really say anything? That's going to be another key. Will she turn evidence against Tom? And
Mhm.
if she does, will it be leaked or will we know? Because we hear nothing about that. She she'll have her pick of the older men set. She'll be fine. She'll
I
be
have
fine.
a for her, but girl, you better get your fighting gloves ready. Dr. Dre, don't he need a woman?
Oh no.
Didn't he have somebody? I thought he was dating somebody.
April Jones, you can't take April Jones on a red carpet. I'm sorry.
True.
Oh, okay.
Well,
Not on purpose.
Yeah.
Dr. Dre better not show up anywhere with damn Erika Jayne.
Listen, she want a musical career, right? She want to be a pop star,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
I don't think she's willing to get any damage to her product in order to get a music career. And quite honestly, how long you gonna be able to patch a puss on stage?
Right?
Well,
That has a shelf life too.
really? Because Evelyn Lozado don't know that.
Is Evelyn Lozado as smart as Erika Jayne?
No.
Listen, she went
Okay.
She's
Carl
better
when he
plotted.
contract. Now I don't know if he's wasted it, But
I also think that part of the reason Erica might not be tripping is, like we said earlier, that 40,000 a month is roughly $2 million sitting someplace offshore, high interest, allegedly, perhaps, in my opinion. Um, she is plotted enough to have done that.
Mhm.
Yes,
So maybe she's really
totally.
not worried about the next guy, so to speak. Like she said she was just going to have, what did she say? Unattached or
I
something
think she said
sex,
like
right?
casual sex or something
Yeah,
like that.
basically
Yeah.
that. Yeah.
Yeah. She's not because that came up when Garcelle wanted her to talk to the matchmaker, right?
Right. Right.
Right.
Yeah. She was a little all over the place with regards to moving on.
Mm-hmm.
I
It
was
could
a
have
little
been the
confused.
THC oil. It could have been the oil.
but
Maybe.
when you get another one, please do the Anna Nicole Smith. You know, I have faith in my Southern girls and getting this money out of these old men. Please pick from home. Please pick from the guy out.
She set the stage though. She's in Nicole's the bar for gold diggers. I'm sorry, and these little youngins need to pay homage.
Right.
Because Erica,
Mhm.
say what you want to say about Erica. She is probably the best looking white woman I've seen at 50 for a long time. And I mean, hair done, nails done. Like Erica never looks bad on that. Well, her style could use some work, but her makeup and everything is always spot on.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Agreed. So, ladies, I hate to cut this conversation short, but we've got 2 minutes to get to
Well, I
our next show.
adjusted the time. I
Oh, you
adjusted the
did.
time.
Oh,
Yeah,
perfect.
just
Okay,
just
we'll
by
keep this going.
15 minutes. Just by
Okay.
15 minutes.
No, we
Oh,
don't
So we
have.
could
wow.
get final thoughts.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah, perfect.
no, we have to talk about. Okay, I'm tired of the dumpling scene. I've seen it quite a few times. I need people to make something else. Next thing with Crystal. Why is she like so ridiculous about somebody seeing her naked? Like we've all been at the locker when we were kids. Like why is that such an issue?
I don't know. Like I was saying, I heard before about the whole, cultural difference thing, but she was raised here and went to school with a lot of girls that were escorts too, right? So
Mhm.
she is overreacting. She's
Well, I think it has to do with her body dysmorphia as well. She
right.
might be really in addition to not seeing her body like how we see her looking
Mhm.
at her, I think it's all tied up in a neat little bow with that. She does dress ultra conservative.
To be so
Um,
young.
maybe she's just not that comfortable with strangers seeing her, you know? I'll give her the benefit of the doubt on that because she's admitted the body dysmorphia. But if she carries this on for too much longer, I'm just gonna have to cut her loose on that. Get over it, girl.
You
Right,
know what I'm
right.
Do you think
Mm,
maybe she likes a little girl action?
Crystal,
Yeah.
she does give off that vibe,
Yeah,
mm,
huh? She totally gives me bi vibes.
yeah, she was giving off like, ooh, because when she met her husband. Okay, first of all, can we talk about Sutton in that dress? Sutton, it's time to go for the next size up. I mean, that looked horrible. That khaki dress she wore,
Yeah. Sutton needs a stylist.
it was so tight, and I was like, well, maybe that's the style. It was just
aw.
awful, but I think she, wants to dip in Sutton's pond, and she gives me a very like, when I was younger, a lesbian until graduation. Maybe she liked it a little more.
Well, I'll give her the how I feel like she might be bi, at least, but I don't think Sutton is her type. I think her issue
Correct.
is that Sutton saw her body and violated her space again. You know what I mean? And she didn't use the word violate. Here we go with Dorit again. Didn't Dorit say something said something last year and blew it all out of context? And she said that Sutton was going crazy and she was going to go off. And Sutton had never said that. So
Mm-hmm.
Dorit just
Yeah.
pulls words out of one of her accents and throws it into a conversation that the other person never said and then gets them into trouble. And now we're going to have to hear about this for, I feel, at least two more episodes. It's going to be two more episodes that we're talking about whether or not she's violated, how much of a itty bitty booby she saw or whatever. But they're both these ladies. Somebody had it in the comments. They said they're similar. These
Yeah,
ladies are kind of similar. They're both awkward, socially awkward, and we have to still get used to them, and they have to get used to being in front of a camera.
I
So,
agree.
Well,
I agree.
just one more thing, so we could be, because I need to be a little bit more petty just before we go. Can we talk about? Well, can we discuss on the Real Housewives how Rena is just looking like leather? What is going on with Rena?
Botox
Mm,
has a shelf life. Fillers have a shelf life.
I mean, she was looking horrible, and I was just looking at her like, oh my god. And can we talk about Kathy? Is it me, or does Kathy always seem drunk?
Dry drunk, you said?
Yeah.
She does seem, but maybe that's just her shorthand speech too. Like she knows she sounds incoherent because she doesn't finish a sentence. Because Kyle pointed out all her
Yep.
conversations are, and she has been talking like that. So maybe
Mm-hmm.
that's why she kind of
hmm
comes off as the little drunk. But she does look the youngest. Kathy's plastic surgeon is fire because I think she's the oldest and
She
looks
is.
like Paris's
But
5 year older cousin.
look around her eyes. Her eyes are not good.
Yeah.
She did, for sure, a lower lift, and I
Hmm.
wouldn't be surprised if she did an upper lift. And now all she has is like little itty bitty eyes, and
Right.
she didn't always have those. She needs to stop.
She does.
She's
She
good
does.
right now, and just let aging take the rest of it. Because you like 80 years old now, girl. Just let it go.
No,
Rick
she
Did
is
you
not
guys?
leaving you.
he can't be that. How old is? I thought Kathy was a 60.
Oh, okay. Wait, no, ain't isn't there,
Let
how
me
much of an
ask.
age gap is there? 10 to 15 years between her and Kyle?
Yeah, Kyle's in her
So
50s.
then Kyle's 50. So
Okay,
okay, so
she's
she's in her
62.
60s.
62, born March 13th, 1959.
Yeah.
Kyle is 52. Paris is 40. Her husband is 65.
Ooh.
Okay. All right. Yeah, she needs to let that go. Stop.
This
No more nips and tucks for Kathy.
this was a good
Yeah.
episode. I am mad y'all don't watch the encore. When I tell you that was so ridiculous, I don't
I
know
was
how.
watching it last night. I have to rewatch it again today.
What
I don't
channel
know
is that
how you.
on?
I haven't watched
BET.
Family
Okay.
Art
Mhm.
because I can't with the interchangeables. Oh, Love and Hip Hop is coming back July 5th.
Wait a minute, about did you
Florida?
say did you say July 5th?
Yeah,
Is that
Atlanta,
Love?
right?
yeah.
Oh,
Okay, I'm
Atlanta.
here
No.
for it. I'm here for it.
And they're going to Dubai. So Mona Scott Young then put the budget up and not just giving them a Popeyes fried chicken meal plate.
She ain't put no budget up because if they did it last year, Dubai was running massive specials to get anybody in their hotels, the
Hello.
heads and the beds, and the flights
Yep.
was cheap. And they got a new direct flight out of Miami.
Well,
So,
Post pandemic
well,
special.
but
mhm.
the furthest they've gone. Shout out to Mona Scott Young, and even the production looks a little bit better. It looks like it's worth $5.99 instead of 86 cents.
They probably use local Dubai production. That's why.
Ablavi, quick question: have they dropped the trailer yet?
Yes, they have. It's a teaser
Okay.
because Safari and Erica Mena have been shooting for the season.
Ugh.
Oh.
And Spice
Good.
is on it, and Carly Red and Lamar are on it.
Is
Oh,
that
good
true?
grief.
Mhm.
Yeah, it's true. It's true.
Is it me?
Oh
One
my.
thing. Or does Crystal Minkoff favor Gabrielle Union? Close your eyes, squint from the side, and she looks like Gabrielle Union's cousin.
Mm, I think we
I
pushed it.
can see it.
You see it?
I can see it a little bit.
Because when I first saw her, I was like, why she looks so familiar? And then I saw a commercial of Gabrielle Union, and I was like, they favor a lot. They
It's the
do, huh?
cheeks. It's the cheeks.
Oh, I have another question to ask. What
Mm-hmm.
about Free Britney? Did something with Britney Spears come on yesterday?
She
Yes,
went
she
to
spoke.
court
She spoke.
yesterday.
She spoke on her conservatorship yesterday.
Told everybody off, including the judge.
She did.
Oh,
Yeah.
Yes.
I'll be looking for having a news article about that because I can't be bothered with the early 2000s.
Blasey, I
No,
can't
but
believe.
this is important though,
Yes,
because she's had the past, what, 10, 15 years stripped
10 years.
away from her. They
That's
control everything, including like her not having children.
horrible.
What do you mean?
They put an IUD into her and she wants it out and they won't let her get it out.
That's crazy. That's disgusting.
That's her father, right?
That's
Her
her father
father and the conservators,
That's
because the
disgusting.
last conservator
and
quit
the
last
sister
year.
and the sister.
The sister was one of the
Mm-mm.
conservators?
So basically, what it is, from what I've been watching on the other channels, is the father's like the head conservator,
Mm-hmm.
and then there was the lawyer, but her sister is super tight with the lawyer. So basically, they're all conspiring to keep her in the conservatorship. Basically,
So they can spend all her money. This is all about her
hmm
money,
it's
right?
all about her money. It's all about her
Yeah.
money.
Ah,
And they said
That's
that they forced her to do the Vegas thing. Like
really.
whenever she would feel
Yes,
sick and she would tell them like, I can't perform today, they was like, get your ass out there. They put her on lithium when she started complaining too much. Girl, she
OMG.
dog, even the judge, she was like, the last time I came in front of you, you didn't even want to hear me. You gonna hear me now.
Oh my gosh. I
And
Yep.
yes, she
didn't.
went in.
That's so sad.
Mm-hmm.
so was it like, is it on like television? Like what is it? Is it a special or is it a
It was
deposition?
on
Like how do
ABC
I
News.
find it?
You should be able to
Okay.
find it on YouTube.
Yeah.
Wow.
Okay. I will look
And
for it because I keep hearing about it.
Emily D. Baker has been following it as well. And I think she tuned into the legal proceedings because Britney called in her stuff. And I think they allowed people to dial in until Britney went all the way up. And she wasn't mean or disgusting or anything like that, but it was the first time that you're hearing her speak her truth. And
Mm-hmm.
so there was some sort of like break, and then the judge shut down the audio. So everybody who
Interesting.
was dialed in could not dial back in anymore unless they were part of the case.
And what is her father saying?
Well, most of her aggression is towards him. Because like there was one part that they were saying like she was complaining about not feeling well and the effects of like whatever drugs they were having on her, and she said, and my father was like, he was enjoying that, taking pleasure in what was happening to me.
Jesus Christ. So
Mm-hmm.
basically the whole family is against her. Okay, is the
Mm-hmm.
ex-husband got something to do with it too?
I didn't hear
No,
anything.
no, it's just
Yeah.
it's mainly the father, the lawyer he hired, and the sister.
Oh yeah, and she's found out like no one told her that she can sue to get the conservatorship discontinued, and that's why she's doing it now. Because
Oh,
like they even hired her own lawyer to represent her, which they was paying. So of course, whose loyalty is he giving? Like he's not giving her the loyalty; he's giving whoever paid him.
Oh, you
right.
need to do a special on this.
I don't know if I can explain like that. Like Jamal is the legal expert. I'm just,
I
ratchet.
just follow. I just follow the channels who cover it. So I have
Mm-hmm.
no
Okay.
real. Like one of the guys, his name is. Let me give me 2 seconds. He's really good. Like he does stuff like this with
Mm-hmm.
celebrities and how they're being mistreated, and his work is really good. So he has a whole like playlist about the Free Britney movement. So let
Mm-hmm.
me just link. His name is Sloan. So I'll just put his channel. I'll just link his channel for you guys if you're
Yeah.
interested.
You
And
know what's
Emily
so
D.
Okay.
Baker
crazy?
was tweeting about everything yesterday. Her Twitter was going
Okay.
crazy.
You know what's so
Okay. I'm gonna
crazy
look
is
into it.
Go ahead,
wasn't
Larsa.
Marilyn Monroe in the same type of situation where they were basically making her do things and keeping her inebriated and things like that. I've heard stories of many starlets from the 50s and 40s and 60s, even
Mm-hmm.
70s, were treated in this type of way by
Yeah.
people that had control over them and their image and would
Mm-hmm.
force them to work, and then they spend the money, and then these ladies die broke. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I
Mhm.
Yeah.
really hope that Brittany can, I mean, Britney Spears getting taken advantage of like this. Whoa, whoa, whoa.
That's crazy.
Mhm.
She was big too. Well, guys, I'm
Huge.
gonna let you go. I
Me
gotta
too.
go. I'm going live today between 7 and 8. We're gonna be
Okay.
discussing reality business and the
I just subscribed.
foolishness. Okay, because we really have to have a little rant today on a few things that have been irking me this week. So we're really gonna get in.
Oh, excellent.
Good, good.
I'll be there.
And
I'll be there.
I'll be there as well. Don't forget, go to
All right.
Ablavi M on YouTube and Larger Curves. When are you
I
going
appreciate
live
you guys.
next?
Oh, you know what? I was going to do one later too, but I don't have a
Mhm.
time yet. So maybe I'll post a reminder. I appreciate you both. Hearts out to Jamal, hearts out to Debbie, hearts out to everybody in the
Thank
chat.
you.
And I will check you guys out in the next live. I appreciate you guys.
Love you too,
Thanks for
Larger.
coming.
Okay.
Don't forget, you can find Larger Curves on her YouTube channel, Larger Curves. And I think we've put up everybody's channel. Guys, meet us back in a couple of minutes. We're going
Literally.
to be talking about family karma at
hmm
3:15 p.m. Eastern and 12:15 p.m. Pacific. Just come
Yes.
on right back in like 3
Basically,
minutes. Yeah, 3 minutes.
we'll get a
All
glass
right.
of water, maybe some chips, a drink, and
And a
see you
quick
about
kiss.
right. See you about 3 minutes.
All right, guys. Until next time,
Of course.
bye.
Bye.